Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to bring you a couple of different symbols. In this case, I'm starting off with the ZS, and a lot of these are names that we have been in throughout the week, but I think that they still have more potential upside. So there'll be some variety among them, but I think ZS looks good for higher prices. I would like to track that into about 53 or so, and I'd be buying it all the way back down into 42. Some other names that may be a little bit more common. Yum, it's got a really great weekly squeeze, and as you approach these situations, I think thinking with a little bit longer term basis can be very helpful, because none of us know what the market is going to bring for the next 6 to 8 months, but if it can perform well, or at the very least if it can hold on, I'm just looking for repetition of kind of what you saw back in here. Now these moments are not marking perfect lows necessarily, but they're marking moments in time where price has compressed to a certain degree and you're thinking it's about to have a nice run higher. I also enjoy a basic way of thinking, which is to say, stocks that have outperformed over the past 6 months will probably outperform in the next 6 months. And then, of course, just the inverse, that you want to sell those that have been lagging in the past 6 months, etc. So with that way of thinking, Yum looks pretty solid. You've got some nice weekly squeezes, and I think it's worth considering. You have PayPal that is in a very similar situation. So, down a little bit on earnings, but this doesn't do anything to skew this pattern. I'm not telling you it's going to make the low this week, but when you look at it with a general idea that this is a good pattern, and it is just retracing a little bit of that massive run higher, from 75 to 95, that's a nice little pop. It's just digesting some of that movement, I think, before it makes the next run higher. So I would also keep that on your watch list for bullish opportunities, and I will leave you with one last one of CME. It's just, if nothing else, it's consistent. You can look at these signals in each of these names that are very similar, and if the market can hold on, or either way, I think that these have a good chance of performing in the next 6 months as they continue to trade with the trend. This is a good example of those weekly squeeze signals. You're looking for the point where price breaks out of what has been a previous range and then really starts to march higher over the next, in this case, it was over the next 6 months, give or take. Then you digest that move, march higher. We are just starting to, we're going to trade in a range here for a bit, I am assuming, but then thinking that eventually fires higher, and we see CME up into 201 and 209. So I hope that's helpful, gives you a couple of trades to consider, and we will see you at the next free video.